Come on now. Yeah. It's us against everybody fool. Nothing but the Bulls. Nothing but the Bulls. It's us against everybody. Y'all should know the rules. Nothing but the Bulls. Nothing but the Bulls. Live from the Madhouse on Madison, between Dane and Ashland. You see a team of warriors in black with red with some white accents, ready for action. For any set of 18 ballers claiming they active, y'all better ask them LA boys what really happened. It don't matter home or away, we catching y'all lacking. Why you laughing? Think it's all get easy. We send Josh from half court to get busy. We rise quickly because I said he never cower. Be like treating family tree and send us all our flowers. Send them to the locker room, crying in the shower. The way we pull it up, section 25th hours. It's us against everybody, we the crown jewel. Nothing but the Bulls, nothing but the Bulls.
Don Dune, the Derek Briscoe, baby.
What's up, Bulls Nation? Welcome to a new episode of the Bulls Podcast. I'm your host, Young Jordan. As always, in with my co-host, John and SeeRed. Together, we are the Bulls Bros, and this is the Dynasty Series 1993. Repeat,
baby.
We talked about the passing of the baton from Magic to Michael in the 91 playoffs. We talked about, obviously Larry Bird, but what separated them from MJ, what he wanted to prove, was that he won 3 straight championships because Bird and Magic didn't.
No one in the modern era won 3 straight championships. Only 2 other franchises had done it. The Minneapolis Lakers in the Stone Age and the George Mikan age, and then the Boston Celtics in the Red Auerbach, Bill Russell, John Havlicek days. So it had been over 25 years since a team had won 3 straight. So considering that Larry Bird had won 2 straight, Magic, Jordan wanted to prove that he could do that and then some. In 92 he proved it, and then 93 proved that he could do better than them. Isaiah Thomas as well. That was another target on his shoulders.
Yeah, I know you mentioned those Celtics, but it was like in the 50s, and it wasn't that many teams.
That's right.
They won like 8 straight.
Yeah, they won 8 straight, 11 out of 13 in Bill Russell's career. The last one was in 1969 when he was a player and coach, which is something you'll never see in sports again. But that was pre-1970s. That was 1969. Only a handful of teams in the league. Only played 2 or 3 rounds. It was a different league. So, the great thing about the three-peat, you got to bring Phil Jackson into the conversation. Because not only did it with the Bulls, he also did it with the Lakers from 2000 to 2002. So he's the only coach that's been able to reach those heights to this day.
Zen Master, man.
The Zen Master.
Yep. But, what made this championship a little different was Jordan and Pippen came off the 92 Dream Team playing in the Olympics, winning Olympic gold. And the Bulls kind of had like a championship fatigue. They finished 10 games under what they did the previous season. They won 62 and 20, and then they won 67 and 92 and 57 and 93.
Yep. 57 and 25. Also, their points per game went down 5 points from 110 to 105. Field goal percentage went below 50% for the first time in the 90s. So they definitely regressed a bit. And on top of that, went into the playoffs with a lot of doubts. If you go back and look on YouTube, type in 1993 Game 1 Bulls Hawks. You're going to see Ernie Johnson. You're going to see Dick Versace, Hubie Brown talking about this is a team that could lose to the Hawks. They struggled a lot against them. Lost in the first game, which was the game that the Bulls received the 92 championship rings. Lost in that game at home. Had a hard time playing the Hawks, and then fast forward to round 2, played the Cleveland Cavaliers. and lost the season series 3-2. The Jordan stopper, Gerald Wilkins, we'll talk about him more, helped bring Jordan's average from 32 a game to 27 a game in that. So there were a lot of questions surrounding the Bulls going into the playoffs from the regular season. But we're going to talk about how they erased all those doubts.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the Bulls 57 wins. New York won 60. Phoenix had 62. So the Bulls did not have home court advantage this time.
That's right.
So, my first question is, the Bulls winning 57, was it a concern, or you have faith in the Bulls to just flip the switch in the playoffs?
I think concerned, not worried, would definitely be a good way of putting it. I think most people would be, considering Scotty and Michael were a little fatigued from the previous year, from taking it over 100 games in the regular season, winning the second championship, and then going straight into Barcelona. Right after that, went to Portland and played international competition like 2 weeks later, and then after that went to Barcelona and barely had a couple weeks to prepare for training camp. So Michael and Scotty were really burned out. Also, the team was aging a bit. John Paxson, Bill Cartwright had significant injuries. So B.J. Armstrong and Horace Grant that year stepped up more than they ever had up to that point.
Yeah, Bulls definitely needed it, even though Mike still averaged 32.6 a game and won his free scoring title. But he did not get the MVP that year. It went to Sir Charles Barkley. And the question is now, was that deserved over Michael, or maybe a little bit of voters fatigue there?
Well, I would say that that culminated a bit with the 92 Dream Team. Honestly, Charles Barkley played better than anybody else on the Olympic team, and he carried that over into the regular season. Phoenix was never a championship contender. Charles Barkley was traded there, and he took them to the finals, led them to 62 games. So I would say Michael Jordan was definitely the best basketball player in the world, but Charles Barkley definitely had a major effect on that franchise that year. So I would say out of every year Jordan didn't get the MVP, that was probably the year that it was deserving the most for Charles Barkley. What say you?
I mean, case could be made.
Yeah.
Definitely, but we know that MJ took it personally, unfortunately for Charles, when they met in the finals.
Oh yeah, he took it personally. He made that very clear in The Last Dance, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm sure MJ was like, nah, I should be MVP every year.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me anybody's better than me.
That's right.
So, yeah. But before we get to the finals, now the Bulls, the first few series, they kind of cakewalked through the East in the playoffs. They swept Atlanta and Cleveland, even though Cleveland had beat them in the regular season series 3-2 with 3 in a row.
Yeah. And I honestly think what drove that was, there were a lot of doubters. A lot of people were saying, well, the Bulls could even lose in the first round. They're fatigued. They're not what they were. They're coming off of a lot of injuries from the bench and, Paxson and Cartwright. And that fueled Jordan because he had the best postseason that he ever had in the championship years, especially in the finals. Because they obliterated Atlanta and Cleveland 7-0. They were going into the Eastern Conference Finals with a 7-0 record. even though the 91 team and the 92 team, record-wise, I think most people would say, everyone would say 91 and 92 were the better teams. But they didn't have a run like the Bulls did to start the playoffs in either year. There it is, Mr. Jimmy Backus. Thanks for joining, my man. Mystery of Bulls Fest. Where you go, man? You just stayed at that taco thing or what? I thought you were going to come and meet Caleb.
The Taco Fest?
The Taco Fest, like in Northside or something, man. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So, for anybody that's watching, after the Bulls started the playoffs 7-0, did you think that it would be any real competition for the Bulls in the East?
This was probably the team that gave them more fits than any other. That includes NBA Finals.
Yep.
The New York Knicks. I remember still to this day, my dad telling me, sorry, I know I don't want to like mess with you. I'm not messing with you, but New York's going to win this one. They're a better team, especially when they went up 2-0.
Yeah, like I said at the start of the episode, the Knicks won 60 games, so they had home court advantage.
And going into that, they had won 25 straight games at home. When you add the two in games 1 and 2, it was 27. So they were on a roll. Very well coached by Coach of the Year that year, Pat Riley. Patrick Ewing was in his prime. They had Doc Rivers, tough guy, tough team. Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Charles Smith. They were just a very tough team. They were kind of like another Pistons, but probably with more offense, especially in the low post with Ewing. They were tough. I went to the Lakeview Taco Fest and got full beer and tacos. All right. Well, what about Sunday? It's all right, man. I'll leave you alone.
But yeah, so you see, like, people were concerned that the Bulls weren't going to win that playoff series against the Knicks, like your dad, when they went down 0-2. New York has home court advantage, so you got to go into Madison Square Garden. You're going to have to at least win one.
Yeah.
In enemy territory. But the Bulls then won 4 straight, including Jordan putting up 54 in the game 4.
Yes. So game 3, he didn't play that well. He was really deferring to his teammates, but yet the Bulls still annihilated the Knicks. Game 4 was a game that we'll never forget. Memorial Day, 1993, March 31st, 1993. Michael Jordan puts up 54 points. The Bulls put up 105. So he scored more than half of the Bulls. And then the following game, Game 5, my all-time favorite. Another amazing performance by Michael Jordan. But this time, he went all around. He was 29 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds. So, and it all ended with Charles Smith getting embarrassed under the basket.
Like I said, yep, Jordan dropped 54 on John Stark's head.
Loved every moment of it.
The Knicks hadn't lost at MSG since February of that year. That's pretty crazy.
That is.
About that.
That is. But yeah, that sequence towards the end of Game 5, my all-time favorite Bulls-Knicks moment, because if the Bulls had lost that game, you go back to Chicago, you have to win 2 games. One in Chicago, but then Game 7's in New York. A lot easier to beat a team that's won 27 straight games in Game 5 versus Game 7 when your backs are against the wall. So, great moment in Bulls history. Those 2 games right there by Jordan, legend. As Jimmy Backus would say, that's that GOAT shit. Yep. Triple-double and the greatest stop in NBA playoff history. Agreed. And then how about the home run pass from Jordan to B.J. Armstrong? Make that layup at the buzzer to win. Unreal.
Yeah, I'd say this is Jimmy's favorite championship.
Jimmy's favorite I know Jimmy's favorite team is the '89 Bulls. I know that he's made that very clear in the group. I don't know if this is his favorite championship team.
I'm like, the Rings is his favorite team.
'89. That's what he said. He alludes to that all the time in Bulls fam.
You gotta explain that one to me, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, he will. Believe me. He'll send you a dissertation as to why.
But yeah, the Bulls come back down 0-2, win 4-2. But that Knicks team was definitely, I would say, the biggest threat of the entire repeat.
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Maybe both of them, actually.
Yeah, I think Jordan once said that the Pacers in '98 was the biggest challenge. But I don't know. At that time, they were on their last legs, basically. '91 favorite chip squad. Okay, I can respect that. Bulls fan, your whole entire life, been watching them since the '60s. They finally win. I understand completely, Jimmy. But yeah, I would have to agree. I think the Knicks of '93 posed the biggest challenge for the Bulls from '91 all the way to '98, and Indiana's probably right behind that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Indiana.
Yeah, '98. So those Utah teams were tough too. 97 was scary. Game 5, the flu game, was scary.
That's that goat shit.
Yeah, right. That's that goat shit. That's probably the only time where I was like, man, I don't know. If Jordan stays sick, I don't think we have a chance. Because the stomach flu can last a while.
Yeah.
we went there at some point.
Food poisoning, whatever.
Yeah.
Food poisoning might actually be worse than a stomach flu.
Yeah. Agreed. That could stay in your system for days. So.
But yeah, we finally got to, after dealing with the Knicks, coming down to the best team in the league that year with the MVP of that year, Sir Charles Barkley. You had other legends on that squad like Dan Marley,
Kevin Johnson.
Yep.
A lot of people thought of him as being the best point guard around that time. Right there with John Stockton.
Once again, Bulls don't have the home court advantage in this series. And, Jordan's coming in there. He's trying to win 3 straight championships to prove that he's above Bird, Magic, Isaiah. And he's going to prove that he's the best player in the NBA, not Charles Barkley. So Jordan came in there with a chip on his shoulder.
A big chip on his shoulder. He, from games 2 to 5, he scored 40-plus points every game, including the double nickel in game 4. Brian, what's going on, Mr. Brian Cook? What's up, Bulls peeps? I always say that Indiana in 1998 were the deadliest squad to never win the title. They beat the Bulls in Game 7. Who's to say they don't beat Utah in the finals? Yeah, I could see them beating Utah for sure in the finals. And remember, that same team made the finals again 2 years later, and '99 they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Knicks. So that was a really good team. Larry Bird is probably the most underrated coach in NBA history, considering the very short tenure that he had with Indiana, the success that he had with that team. So great coach.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, and Jimmy agrees. He said Indiana '98. Yeah, like I said, I completely had forgot about Indiana in '98. It's
Yeah,
up there. It's a toss up between '98 Indiana and '93 or '92 Knicks.
yeah.
Would you say '93 or '92 for the Knicks?
I would say 93. I think 92, because previous to that, they had never gone far into the playoffs. They'd always, I guess in 89, we did, that was the Rick Pitino led team. We did beat them in the semifinals, but, that was basically a new team. All new players. They retooled quite a bit. Although Jimmy and I, we've had our discussion about this, and Jimmy has said he thinks 92 is better than the 93 team. But I'm going to say that 93 was the more battle tested, and they retooled with very physical players in the backcourt to help combat Michael Jordan. Derek Harper, Doc Rivers, to go with John Starks. So they definitely retooled that roster. Also added in Charles Smith, a big 6'10" guy that could play small forward, power forward, center, even though really led to nothing because all we really did was embarrass him. I mean, you could see, like, look at Bulls Knicks history, and we're embarrassing him. There's a moment where Jordan's wearing the number 45. He's got a fadeaway on Charles Smith. Charles Smith blocks him, he grabs it, and then, boom, nothing but net in his face.
Shout out Semity.
Semity, what's going on?
What's going on? What's on the plate for today? A big foodie. So gotta ask him that question.
Oh, okay. Oh, Orlando Blackman. My goodness. Yeah, he was a big part of that team too, Jimmy. Good point. How could I forget him?
It says state foe. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's insane how many dangerous squads the Bulls had to deal with in the 90s. Can't forget that up-and-coming Miami Heat squad with Mourning and Hardaway, yes. Even though we took care of them, we took care of business in the playoffs, they were tough. They were tough teams, also coached by Pat Riley.
Pat Riley's just been coaching tough teams forever.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Pat Riley and Greg Popovich are the only coaches that you can make a claim that they might be better than Phil, but Phil wins. I mean, he's the Lord of the Rings. The championships prove otherwise. But they're right up there as the top coaches ever.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Jordan came in, like, they gave this guy the MVP.
Yeah.
Watch this. I believe it's still the finest average in the NBA Finals in points to this day.
Yeah. Oh, to this day. And we're in an era where, teams are scoring 140, 150 in the playoffs sometimes. 41 points a game in the finals, still not eclipsed, as well as a record that he broke 7 years previous to that, 1986, 63 for Jordan at the Boston Garden against arguably the greatest defensive team ever. The numbers support that. So, Mason, Bonner, yeah. Yep.
Knicks were nasty.
They were. I remember growing up in the 90s and watching the Bulls and Knicks. I used to get anxiety watching those games. Man, it was nothing like those Bulls Knicks, that rivalry, especially in the first three-peat. Second three-peat, they were never. We played them in '96, beat them in 5. Was never worried about them. We weren't scared of them at all. But that first three-peat, and then lost to them in '94 in 7 games, thanks to Hugh Hollins. Could have even beat them in that round without Jordan.
Yeah, man. It was no team I despise more than the Knicks.
Yeah.
coming up in those 90s.
Oh yeah,
Even to this day, like, I despise them still the most.
despise them, but right now, I think Philly gets the nod, right?
I mean, yeah. Anything with LeBron is going to be very hated by me. But yeah, man. Hopefully, we get those type of rivalries back. It seems hopefully the NBA is starting to get more competitive again. It's moving away from all that bullshit super team. Team up with my friends. Kind of
Yes.
thing. So, Knicks are the current world champions. Bulls are in a rebuild, up and coming. Maybe we'll be kind of on the opposite end where we're the up and coming team that's giving the championship squad the problems and making them sweat a little bit.
Now that would be a dream. To throw in the Knicks at Madison Square Garden to advance to the next round, that would be like winning a championship. Especially if we did it at the Garden. So,
Shout out Aunt Rose.
Aunt Rose.
World, unless you mention the bad boy Pistons.
Shout out to Aunt Rose. Still have hate for the Knicks in Detroit, yeah.
Yep.
So, if there was a rivalry that you'd want, it wouldn't be rekindled, in my opinion. You know what rivalry I'm looking for? I hope happens.
What's that?
Bulls Wizards. I need a Bulls Wizards rivalry, man. So we can go to those playoff games. Right in our backyard.
Right? For selfish reasons, yeah.
Yeah. Be right in our backyard. Caleb versus AJ. It's a rivalry we'll see for a long time, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep.
I mean, Brian says his aunt especially didn't like Isaiah or Bill playing beer.
I feel like the only player on that team that was a respectful guy was Joe Dumars. Everybody else just garbage. Garbage behavior. Joe Dumars did not belong on that team. Although Jordan says he was the guy that played him the best. So,
Yeah, definitely. I think
best defender.
Joe was the only one that didn't walk off that court. And
Yeah.
was the only one when we swept their ass.
Yeah.
Detroit will always be there. Bears, Lions, Sox, Tigers, Bulls, Pistons, and Blackhawk Red Wings. Hey, that is kind of like a long-standing rivalry.
Yeah.
All of sports for Chicago and Detroit.
Great point.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that finals was not an easy win. We had a triple overtime game that the Bulls actually lost.
Yeah. So, first two games were in Phoenix. Bulls won game one, 100-92. Won game two, 111-108. And going to game three in Chicago, you're seeing the Chicago Stadium with a bunch of brooms. People are ready for a sweep in game three. And, that was a game that was probably, I would say aside from the 1976 Celtics-Suns game, that was the longest NBA Finals game ever. I don't think any other game has gone triple overtime aside from the 76 Game 5. Very tough game. Jordan scored 44, but wasn't quite enough. Phoenix won Game 3 at Chicago, and that set up for what was my favorite Jordan performance in Game 4.
The first double nickel.
The first double nickel, the finals double nickel. Everybody thinks the double nickel game, and they think number 45 back in '95 at the Garden. But the real double nickel game is Game 4 of the '93 finals. Much larger stage. Phoenix had won the game before. They didn't want them to catch momentum. So, huge game by the one and only Michael Jordan. 55 points. And that was not a game that went to overtime.
Jimmy says those games in Phoenix, our Bulls put belt to ass. They won all the games in Phoenix in the '93 finals.
Yes, they did.
They did. And I think the Chicago fans were kind of disappointed because they were expecting the Bulls to celebrate another championship on their home court.
Man, Game 5, I was so ready. It was a Friday night. Everybody was celebrating before the game even started. And Charles Barkley himself even said, after we lost Game 5, 108-98, he said in the press conference, I'm driving through Chicago to the stadium. I'm seeing all these houses getting boarded up. Take those boards down. You're not going to need them tonight.
In true Charles Barkley fashion, who also said God told him that he wanted them to win the '93 championship.
Yes, he told Ahmad Rashad that he spoke to God the night before, and he wanted Phoenix to win the world championship. Oh man! Even back then, when I hated him so much and I hated that team, I couldn't stop from laughing. That was hilarious.
Danny says Isaiah was a hater because MJ got more love from Chicago than he did, even though he wasn't from Chicago. It upset Isaiah. And Isaiah is still salty to this day.
What's up, Danny? Shout out to Danny, man. You were big time at Bulls Fest. It was great seeing you. Sidani, it was great seeing you all. Yeah, Isaiah is just a big time hater. He's just a miserable guy. And when I see Isaiah talk, I just don't even listen anymore.
Jimmy comparing, I believe, the game 4 with the 55 points to how Jordan played in '86 in the Boston Garden.
Yeah, exactly. He was on that kind of roll.
I said, yeah, Chicago's bloodthirsty for a sweep anytime our teams come that close.
Yeah.
Brian says he's from the same part of town they grew up. Don't really see anyone mention him like we do D Rose or D Wade.
Well, I think Isaiah was loved by Bulls fans, by Chicagoans, prior to the Bulls-Pistons rivalry. At the very beginning, I from what I've read, what I've seen, I've even watched old Bulls games. Like Jordan's rookie year, and Isaiah getting announced or during pregame, getting an ovation by the fans. So there was a time he did have love, but he spoiled that relationship quick. He just ran his mouth way too much. Not only that, but his play on the court spoke volumes. It's why he didn't participate in the '92 Dream Team, even though he deserved it. He really did deserve it. But his poor sportsmanship and all that came with it led him not to be on the team.
Like, man, the Bulls didn't win it in Chicago, but they did wrap it up in Phoenix in 6 games. And it was not Michael Jordan who made the game-winning shot.
It was not Michael Jordan. It was John Paxson. And what was beautiful about that play was that we brought the ball up the court. Every player touched the ball. It was inbounded into BJ. BJ passed it back to Jordan. Jordan to Pippen. Pippen to Grant. Grant got doubled. And he found wide open Paxson at the 3-point line. Buckets.
And pretty much just important as that shot, was the Horace Grant block the next possession?
So Horace Grant had the key assist and the key block in that game, and nobody ever talks about it. Everybody talks about John Paxson and the three-pointer. Nobody ever talks about Grant with the assist and Grant with the block. Because if Grant had gone up against that double team and maybe got fouled, went to the free throw line, he wasn't a good free throw shooter. He would have tied the game if anything. It wouldn't have been a shot that would make you have the lead. So that was a key play by Horace. Both of them. Now, another thing, too, that we have to remember. We choked in that game. We were up by a good amount going into the fourth quarter. We could not buy a bucket. Nobody on the team scored in the entire fourth quarter except for Jordan, which was 9 points. So we were getting killed. It was looking really bad. We were down 96-92 with less than a minute to go. And kind of reminiscent of 98. Jordan got the ball on a fast break, scored a quick layup, real quick, just like he did prior to the last shot in 98. Phoenix lost possession following play. I think Dan Marley balled a wide open shot on the side. Chicago gained possession. They called timeout, and then it's set up for John Paxson and the three-pointer. Here's Paxson for three. Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, man. So I gotta ask, that John Paxson shot, where does that rank amongst the greatest Chicago Bulls baskets? Number 2.
Yes.
Number 2? You're putting that over the last shot?
No, I'm putting that over the last shot in 89.
You're putting over the last shot in 89.
Yes.
Okay.
The last shot in 98 gets the cake. What are your thoughts on that?
That shot by John Paxson is the greatest shot in the NBA Finals by anyone in the NBA Finals.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, championship fatigue is setting in. You don't have home court. If you lose, you're going back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Nobody's expecting me to hit this shot. Guess what? I'm gonna knock that down. Let's wrap this up and raise that trophy.
So that is a bigger shot than Ray Allen in the 2013. Was it 2013 finals? Yes. That is a bigger shot than Ray Allen.
Yeah, because you got to remember John Paxson dealt with health issues that season.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't a starter that year. He came off the bench and wasn't playing much at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for him to knock that down in
Yeah.
that moment, greatest NBA final shot by anyone not named Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I would have to agree with you. That Ray Allen shot, he made it in Game 6. Game 7 was still in Miami. So I would have to agree. Considering the circumstances, what the Bulls were up against, yeah, that is the greatest shot in NBA Finals, NBA history, period, outside of Jordan. So where do you rank it among the shots in Bulls history? Do you rank it over Game 6 of 98, the last shot?
No.
Okay. No.
Hell no. That's the
No.
greatest shot ever in NBA Finals history.
Greatest shot, period. Would you put it over the shot in 89?
Personally, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
There's a case for it because this won the championship. But had Jordan not hit that shot in 89, I don't know if that puts the Bulls on that trajectory to go on and win the championships that they won in the early 90s.
I want to know what Jimmy thinks about that since the 89 team is his all-time favorite. So, I'm sure he'll have something to say if he's still on. Yeah, It's tough for me to say that because in a way, the 89, like when I think of a shot to win the game, I think 89 because that's basically how it was kind of introduced and baptized into basketball. So it's like that's the first thought that I have. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the greatest though. But what I'm saying is that really speaks volumes where I'm saying Paxson is above because I really do believe if we had gone that seventh game in Phoenix, it would have been really tough. Going against a team that won 62 games, home court advantage, it would have been tough.
Definitely, like I said, I'm clearly surprised that you put it over the 89 shot. I know that, like that's what started your Bulls fan.
Yes. Yeah. I would have to very like slight, just a little hair above it because it led to our third championship.
Brian says it may not be number one, but people call 89 the shot for a reason.
That's right.
And since the GOAT didn't do game sevens.
Except for 92 and 98. But not in the finals. Not in the finals.
Never lost.
Never lost. That's right.
Yeah, that was he came in, he proved that, hey, I'm the best player. Magic couldn't do this. Bird couldn't do this. Isaiah couldn't do this. Three fingers up.
Yeah, and it wasn't just scoring. His full stat line for the finals, 41 points, 9 rebounds, almost 7 assists on 50% field goal. Will never be duplicated again. So maybe Charles winning the MVP was the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah, not for Charles, but
right, for the Bulls and for Michael Jordan. Because, yeah, he was by far at his prime at that moment. He was never better.
Brian, bring up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. The way he walked off the court, there was no surprise he was hitting that over Russell.
Yeah, he just abused Brian Russell like every time.
Hey, and that was the beginning of the bookend. Like you have one bookend, game 1 of the 97 finals, one side of the book, and then the other side of the bookend, 98 game 6.
There's Jimmy. Says the shot at 89 was the biggest shot in Jordan and Bulls history. That shot at 89 propelled our Bulls to the team in the 90s. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. I can't put that's the shot over it because if he doesn't hit that shot in 89, I don't know if they go on that same trajectory to wrap up this first three-peat.
So even though we didn't win the championship that year, we did make the Eastern Conference Finals. We lost pretty badly to the Pistons, but that was the beginning of the lesson that we needed. Top 5? Man, you got to at least say top 3. That won a championship. I can think of Jordan, Game 6, the shot, but no other shot besides those two you can make a case. Like, not at all. Game 1 of the 97 finals, no. Bulls lose that game. They lost Game 1 of the 98 finals. Didn't matter. They still won in 6. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Like, that's got to be top 3.
Oh, definitely. Definitely top 3.
Let's see, what would the other, like, what would the top 5 be? What would the other 2?
The other 2, are we talking the Jordan era or just throughout Bulls history?
Bulls history.
I think you'd have to put the Derrick Rose, even though it didn't amount to anything, the Derrick Rose shot versus Cleveland comes to mind in 2015. Let's see. I can't really think of any others that come to mind.
Maybe the let's count the Joakim Noah steal and dunk. And
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking buzzer beaters. Yeah, but that's definitely right up there. Yeah, that's definitely right up there. That was in Game 6. One of the most exciting games in Bulls history. Bulls Celtics. And a lot of people to this day say it's the best finals. Best postseason series in history.
definitely a thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's saying that.
Okay. So Jimmy's got 89, 98, and then 93. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're just thinking postseason. There were a lot of great moments in the regular season too, of course.
The Derrick Rose shot in Milwaukee,
Yeah.
the chest foul. That's definitely got to be up there.
Let me step back and kiss myself. MVP time.
Winnie City Assassin does it again.
Yeah. Yep, that one. The shot. This is when we realized that Jordan was back in '95. Because the first 3 or 4 games he played decent but not great. But the buzzer beater over Steve Smith in Atlanta, once again, in Lenny Wilkins' face as a head coach, buzzer beater right there. And then the following game, the double nickel at the Garden in his 5th game. So that's up there as well.
The buzzer beater and Jordan knocking on the court right after.
I'm back. I'm back, NBA. You didn't think I was back, but I'm back.
Yeah, but before we get back, we go to Jordan coming back. At the end of '93, he announced that first retirement,
Yeah.
and it's gonna always have that age-old question that if Michael didn't retire, would have been 4 straight.
I will tell you that Houston was a very, very difficult matchup for the Bulls in the regular season. We never played them in the playoffs, but in the regular season, especially that first three-peat, had a very hard time beating Houston. Houston was the best team in the league by far that year. I think they started off the year like 15-0. Hakeem Olajuwon, best season he ever had. He was unstoppable. But when you think about the record that the Bulls had without Jordan, 55-27, still very nearly beat the Knicks in the playoffs. You add Jordan to that, that might be a Game 7 finals. Bulls win in 7.
Danny says it's hard to say after what happened to his father.
Yes.
Jimmy says he thinks the '93 Suns were the best team he went up against in the finals.
Yeah. I think you could definitely make that case.
Yeah.
I could agree with you there.
Yeah. Because Utah, the Bulls were getting old at that time.
It was Utah.
So so this is like prime MJ, Scotty, Horst. So yeah, I could definitely say that probably the '93 Suns was probably the best team we faced in the finals.
Yeah. So when you think of that, the Eastern Conference Finals, that was our toughest opponent. We've already said that, the Knicks. Would that make the '93 playoff run the most impressive by the Bulls? Considering what we were up against going into it, a lot of question marks. Lost 10 more games than we did the previous year. A lot of people were even saying maybe even Atlanta could win, Cleveland could win. A lot of people had them as the favorites. Almost everybody had New York as the favorites. Almost everybody had Phoenix as the favorites. And what did we do? We shut up everybody.
Jimmy says Houston versus Chicago in the '90s finals needed, it would have been the greatest finals ever.
That would have been spectacular. That would have been. Now that would have been the most challenging series, I think.
Yeah, I still think the Bulls would have won. Not betting against Michael Jordan with championship on the line.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Never lost. Like, even in college with the championship on the line.
That's right.
Not to win it.
That's right. I mean, let's think about this. Isn't he 9-0 in championship type settings?
Yep.
When you include the dream team of '92, and the Olympic gold medal in '84.
Yes.
Yeah, he's 9-0.
You don't bet against the good.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm going. Bulls would have still won. We're probably talking about 8 straight if Jordan ever retires.
Stacy says if Scotty didn't have the migraine in 1990, he said that we could have even won that year. Stacy told us that when we had lunch with him.
Yeah. Oh man, we're never getting Scotty on this show.
Come on, man. He likes that stuff. He likes the drama. I bet you, if we tell him that we think you're the greatest player of all time, he'll probably join.
I'm like, it's the second episode in a row where we mentioned that migraine game. He was already pissed off. It was mentioned in The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's not walking through that door.
It's nothing but love for Scottie Pippen. The zombie Pippen, though, that guy, I'm not really sure who that is.
Yeah, according to you, Scotty died during COVID, so we couldn't get him on anyway.
That's right. We don't want zombies on this show. You never know what you're going to hear. You're either going to hear that Jordan's the greatest, he was the greatest, or LeBron's the greatest. What's funny is he has said that LeBron is the greatest player of all time, but even more than that, he has said that I'm the greatest player of all time. Because I've got the rings, LeBron doesn't.
Right. Jimmy says, yes, Paxson was aging to hurt. Cartwright was older. Livingston off the bench was gone. Hobbs off the bench was gone.
Yep, good point.
Dream team. They were gassed in 93, definitely.
They were gassed. That's a great point. I forgot about Hodges. I forgot about Livingston. We replaced Livingston with an aging Roddy McRae. Who was Hodges' replacement? Trent Tucker. Trent Tucker was Hodges' replacement. So they didn't really do much in that playoff run. Scotty been moving funny for a while. Yes, he has.
Yeah, man. Scotty moving funny like Chris B. Man doesn't show up for Bulls fans.
Yeah.
Goes see movies by himself.
Yep.
But yeah, so like Danny said,
Whoa.
Stacey,
Whoa, look who's out the state.
our
Yes.
guy.
Look who's about to jump in here. We got some banners popping.
Yeah, so got a announcement to make, and to do that, I thought we would bring in
Wow.
full alumni.
What's going on?
Hey.
Surprise.
Hello, how are you guys? How you doing?
Hype.
We're good. What's going on?
Is my audio working?
A little bit.
You sound fine to me.
But our guy Danny just shouted out Stacy, so thought it would be a good time to bring you in for this announcement.
Yes. I can't handle this. Everything is like echoing right now. It's not doing that on your end? No?
Now it is.
Yeah. It's a little bit.
You might want to give it a try.
Or I could do it from my phone.
That could work too.
Okay, be right back.
Yeah, that was a bad echo for a second.
So that is Miss Melissa. Nothing but Bull alumni. Used to be a co-host. Been very busy schedule, so her hopping on for a quick second is overdue.
Yes. I've been expecting this moment to happen anytime. Just really didn't think it was going to be tonight because she hasn't been active at all yet. So this is a nice surprise.
And he says the return.
So I have a question while we're waiting for Miss Melissa to get on. Who was the supporting cast MVP outside of Michael and Scotty in that 93 playoff run?
Even though John Paxson hit that shot, I would probably go with Horace.
Horace Grant. Bam. I would have to agree with you there.
Okay, we got Melissa back.
There she is. Looks like she's doing a TikTok video.
You're muted. Turn your mic on. You're muted, Melissa.
Can you hear us? You're muted. There you are. She was trying to get her background in.
Yeah, because you guys are pretty down to the game.
And it's still there.
It's still echoing.
It is.
But anyways, hi guys. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you again.
Well, the announcement is no, it's not. I'm back. I saw Danny's message. Is it echoing?
Ouch.
I'm just gonna get to it. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I don't hear the echo. So Eric did a really, really super dope thing, and he created these pins to commemorate the late great Stacey King. So we are going to. I'm going to help collaborate with him in order to do a giveaway specific to the Ford Space. So the Ford Space is a community that is like, it's centered around sports culture, pretty much anything Chicago. And we have a lot of Bulls fans in there. I do have a personal connection to Stacey. As if some of you guys know, I used to co-host a podcast with Eric before. Life got a little bit hectic, and it was a great time. The time of my life, honestly, talking Bulls every day with my friends. So the reason that it became a thing was Eric very much enthusiastically pushing me to do this. And then, like, the first episode I ever co-hosted, we had Stacey King on as a guest. So I got Stacey King's nod. He was like, yeah, you really should do this permanently as a co-host. So, yeah, we did it. So this means a lot to me in different ways. It's kind of like a full circle moment. So Derek did his big thing and created these custom Stacey King pins. They're like hat pins. You can put them on anything, but like hat pins are. You have one on you? Okay, you gotta show that out because that pin is so fire. Other side. It's so good. It's beautiful pin. So he's just doing that to celebrate our dear friend. So yeah, we would love to have you guys join the giveaway. He's giving away. I don't want to say the exact amount, but he's giving away a lot. And he's doing that just out of the kindness of his own heart to commemorate our friend. So there's no gain here other than to just make sure that we're remembering Stacey the best way that we can. So to do it, you're going to be entering our Discord. The Fourth Space Discord. We'll tweet out the link to make it easier for anybody who's not actually in the Discord. And then we just need you to follow the Nothing But Bull Pod, which you guys are probably already doing. Follow follow Nothing But Bull on Twitter and just be in the Discord. The Discord, in the Discord, you're going to enter your username for YouTube and your username for Twitter, and then you're entered. So we're going to be doing like a giveaway once. I think we decided on once a week next year, like once after every 5. So
Yes. So, the next 3 episodes, we are going to give away 7 pins each episode, totaling 21.
That's awesome.
sorry.
The Bull Sports Space Discord Stacey King pin giveaway. Thank you, Melissa, for popping on and collaborating with us to drop this.
Sorry about it. Yeah. It's been a while.
Hey, this is still your home, Melissa. You get on here anytime you want, unannounced too. Right there,
Yes, sir.
anytime.
You guys are killing it. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing amazing things. Love all the guests you guys have been having on. The draft is going crazy. So yeah, definitely keep doing your thing. You guys are doing such great work.
Appreciate you.
Guys.
All right. Remember, it's 3 episodes. You have a chance to win one of 7 pins, total of 21.
That's awesome.
And until then, drive home safely, Chicago. Beep, beep.